Are you able to hear?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Today we are going to see master data management. Our agenda is we are going to see the introduction to master data management, why we need master data management, benefits of MDM, and introduction to Informatica MDM Hub and Informatica MDM Hub overview. First, we will see the definition. What is master data management? Master data management is nothing but tools, technology, and processes which are required to create and maintain the master data. Definitely the question will come into our mind, what is master data? We have seen the definition of master data management. Then what is master data? Master data are the core elements of the business. Then again, the question will come, what are the core elements of the business? The core elements of the business are nothing but customer, employee, product, etc. First, if you take any organization, there will be a number of departments. If it is a medium range concern, medium range organization means we can say around 10 to 20 departments will be there. And each and every department is having its own software and they will be entering the data in different formats. So normally, what is the issue? What is the difficulty? What are all the difficulties we are facing is that fragmented information, it's widespread among the multiple applications. Okay. If I tell like this, you cannot understand. I will take one small example and I will explain you. For example, Mr. John Smith. His name is entered as John Smith in HR department. And his name is entered as Mr. Smith in finance department. And his name entered as Mr. John in operations department. Okay. These three names looks different. We cannot say these three names are different names. These three names might refer to the same person. How can we know that? So we need a solution for that. MDM is the solution actually. What is the MDM goal is? MDM goal is to match and merge the records. That means in an organization there is no single version of the data. Already this is multiple version actually. John Smith, and Smith, these are all multiple version. These three names belongs to only one person, Mr. John Smith, but entered in different formats. But we cannot say these three names are belong to same person. So we need to do an analysis and we need to find out which one is the best version of the data. If it is only one record, by seeing the record itself, we can say that John Smith is the best version. But in the real-time environment, there will be millions of records in the database. We cannot go and verify and check each and every record. So we need one tool. Do an analysis, and finally it will come out with one best version of the record. That will be the final one. That normally we call it as golden record. Okay. This is some brief explanation I have given here. We will see in detail how we are getting data from outside. That we will, after seeing the architecture only, we can easily understand. So MDM goal is to match and merge, means we are going to match each and every records and merge the records, and finally we will get the golden record. Matching is nothing but comparing the records with each other. Okay.
So Kaya sir, based on your research, so is this only for name, or it's also for the products, like based on your research?
See, MDM, it can be implemented on all businesses. Here we are going to deal with customer related information, and we are going to take one example, telecom domain. Later on only I will be explaining the party data model, then only you can easily understand. Okay. First, just overview I am giving. For just only one name I have given. Product in all sectors, pharmaceuticals, energy. Here, what is the main advantage of this? Main advantage of learning this MDM. Here, if you once you implement one project, means you can follow the same thing in all domains. It is not like Informatica Power Center. We need to squeeze our brain for generating the logic. Here there is no for framing the logic. We need to squeeze our brain. Here it is not like that. Once you implement only one project for one domain, it is the same for all the domains. So there is no need to worry about that. We are going to discuss about the telecom domain. I am going to take example Airtel company as the example. I will explain all things in detail in coming sections. Don't worry about that. And one or two benefits we will see. What is the lot of more benefits are there. Before that, I want to tell we are going to learn the Informatica MDM. In our market, there are various tools available for master data management. Informatica is one of the leading company in this particular field, which provides this tool. Apart from this, IBM and so many companies are available. They are providing their own version of the MDM. But out of these master data management tools, Informatica considered to be the dominant, and it is having more market. So we are going to concentrate on the Informatica master data management tool. Okay. Benefits is it improves the data sharing and reuse, and eliminate the redundant data management and integration activities. See here, I want to tell one thing. I think you might have already seen about what we can say data warehousing. I think you might have studied the data warehousing. In data warehousing, there is concepts called facts and dimensions. Facts means what? You tell me. If you have studied data warehousing, you tell me what is fact.
So where facts is like based on
facts means measures. We can say measures.
Yes, measures. You see all the values.
Yeah, measures. Dimensions means descriptors. Okay. Yeah, just descriptions. Here we are going to concentrate only on the dimensions. Here there are no calculation fields. For example, we will be calculating the sales amount. We will be calculating the tax amount. A lot of calculations will come in the data warehousing. We call it as facts. Here there are no facts. Here we are going to concentrate only on the dimension part. Okay. There are no measures here. No concept of dimensional modeling. No snowflaking. Okay. It is not like Power Center. Okay, I will tell one or two that benefits. Eliminate the redundant data. You might have heard this elimination of the redundant data in the data warehousing itself. That means eliminating the duplicate values. Then it promotes the consistent use of the data. That also, these are all self-explanatory. There is no need to explain much. And we can list hundreds of benefits, out of which I just tell around 3 or 4. Okay. And it helps in fraud prevention, and it helps in improved decision making, and improves the quality of the data. Like that, we can tell so many benefits. Now we will see this diagram. Here itself we are having it. Initially, if I tell about this, you cannot understand. Okay. Here we are getting the data. This is the overview actually. This diagram you can easily understand, I think, much more. I think I will explain this one, both same only, but somewhat detailed diagram, this one. Actually, we are getting the data externally. That is the data is not available in the Informatica MDM Hub. So you should ask one question: what is Informatica MDM Hub? Informatica MDM Hub is the server actually. In this server only, we have installed the software. That is the Informatica MDM tool. Okay. We are going to get the data from outside. How we are going to get the data? For that, we will be using one ETL tool. Okay, we are going to use one ETL tool, and we will be getting the data from outside. The data might have been stored in Oracle, Sybase, or flat files, or in different applications in different formats. Like that, it might have been stored in different formats. We are going to get the data through ETL tool, and it will be loaded here in the tables. We will see the process. What are all the process? Landing and then staging, like the processes are there. We will see one by one. Initially, you understand like this. We are getting data from outside, and it is coming inside, and we are storing in one particular tables. Okay. As data arrives in the hub, it is not standardized. That means what we are getting is, for example, if you are having mobile numbers, means normally mobile numbers should have at least 10 digits. If the mobile number is having 5 or 6 digits, means then it will be a problem. Okay, so we need to standardize the data. Mobile numbers we cannot do anything. Standardization means, for example, here if you see this document, there is one ELM street. In ELM street, it have mentioned as ST, because sometimes they might be in hurry to enter the street names. So they might have, instead of entering street, they might have entered ST. So we need to convert ST into street, NY into Newark, CA into California. Like that, we need to change. This is called standardization. This standardization includes name corrections, address. I'm talking about the address standardization. Name standardizations are there. Mike to Michael, or some omissions might be there. Instead of MIKE, they might have typed as MICE. So that type of omissions we will be handling. And these are all called as standardization, enrichment and standardization. Once the enrichment and standardizations is over, means that is called cleansing. That the overall things called cleansing. Then only we will be getting finally the golden record. Okay, once the common records are identified, we will be getting the best attributes together and create the best version of the truth. Here we are getting the data, and it is undergoing various process. Initially it comes into the land process, then stage process, that we will see later. This is overall diagram, this one. If I explain all those things only, you can easily understand this. But anyway, overview, I think you might have understood. If you've got any doubts, you can ask questions.
Okay. So far I'm good. Just go ahead.
Okay. These are all the things. Okay. Actually, our goal is to get the best version of the final goal. Okay, now we will see about the Informatica MDM architecture. This is technical. We are just entering into technical area. And before that, I will tell what we are going to do here, agenda. And we are going to understand the Informatica MDM architecture. Okay. First overview, I will tell. A lot of things are there. Understand the different components of the Informatica MDM. Then
can you go back to the previous slide? Actually, you showed some slide, the previous one, just this one.
Okay.
So I understand, like see the 3 servers here. Can you explain this layer actually?
Yeah, just a second. First, I will explain the agenda, and we are going to understand the batch process flow. Batch data process flow is nothing but landing, staging, and I will show the diagram. After that, open and navigate the hub console. Today is not possible because I have not started the server, so that cannot see that. And I will just take the Informatica MDM architecture, that overview. Okay, this MDM architecture is 3-tier model. Top layer is user interface layer. From there only we are going to work. That is the hub console. That UI interface is hub console. One more thing you are able to see, I think, IDD. That is Informatica Data Director. That is at present there is only 2. You are able to see. I zoomed it a little bit. IDD is data governance application. Last only we are going to see it. After loading all the data, once we get that golden records only, that IDD comes into picture. So don't need to worry about that. So it's the last one. Hub console is a user interface through which only we are going to interact with the database. So here this is 3-tier architecture. Topmost tier is user interface layer. Second layer, the middle tier is called application server. I think you might have, as you have got more experience, you might have seen this application server layer. This is nothing but security layer, web server, web logic. Here we are going to use the JBoss as it is a learning environment. We are going to use the JBoss. In the real-time environment, they will be using the web logic or WebSphere. Okay. And then the third is the database server, database where we are going to store the data, and we are going to get we are going to generate the golden records, and we are going to store in the database. Okay. Here you should know one thing. Database server, we can use only 3 databases: Oracle, DB2, or MS SQL Server. Recently only that SQL Server added. Before that, the database means the Hub console can be connected only to Oracle or DB2. We cannot use the other databases. Sybase we cannot use it. That is for storing the data, but you can get the data from the Sybase. That you should not confuse. We can get the data from external environment, Sybase environment, but storing in the MDM Hub. MDM Hub means server. Within the server, we can have only the Oracle or DB2 only. Now, from the previous version onwards, we can have one more database that is called MS SQL Server. That is possible now. Okay. And topmost tier is, that is Hub console. I will show tomorrow how the Hub console looks like. And application server divided into many, that within that we can see that Hub server, that master reference manager, that hierarchy manager, activity manager, cleanse manager. I will explain all those things one by one. What is this master reference manager within the Hub server? What is this master reference manager? Master reference manager is the foundation of Informatica MDM Hub. Okay. It provides the platform to clean, match, merge, and manage the master data. Okay. Once we come into the picture, this is somewhat theory. Sometimes it might be boring. There is no way, you need to digest it. Okay. And it provides the platform for cleaning, matching, and managing the master data. Then activity manager, that you can easily understand, that is for monitoring. What all the activities we are having, we are going to monitor and evaluate the changes to the data.
Okay.
Then the cleanse match server. That is for, already I told about it, enrichment and standardization of the data. Then one more thing, hierarchy manager, that is the relationship between the data. Relationship between the two tables we can see in the data model. The relationship between the two records we can create with the help of the hierarchy manager. That is manager-subordinate relationship, we can say. Then metadata manager, so many things are there. And this is more than enough for the application server. Now we will concentrating, we are going to see the Hub store. What is this Hub store? The Hub store comprises of master database and ORS. What is master database and what is ORS? Master database is the one and only database created at the time of installation. Okay. Master database created at the time of installation, which contains about the system information. See here, you should not confuse between the master records and the master database. That is why I call it as golden records. The master records are called as golden records. Golden record means the unique records. Finally, we are going to get it after doing the match and merge. The master database is a database which comprises of system related information. Okay. And then ORS. ORS is nothing but operational reference store. Here At the tool level, hub console, we call it as hub console is the tool level. At the tool level, we call it as a database.
Okay.
Just I will show this to you. Yeah, normally what we will do, no? Okay, here actually after changing the date, I think are you able to see the screen? That
Yes.
yeah.
Black screen. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Now you are well. Okay. Here actually we need to change the date before connecting to the net. I need to change the date to the 2017 because it won't work in the 2019. So we need to change the date and we need to start this JBoss server. Here is the JBoss start. And after it once become live, 15 to 20 minutes it will take. Then if it is live means, then we should double click this MDM. Then Hub Console will be opening. Okay, that I will show you tomorrow. Then this is the place where we are going to use our Hub Console, user interface. So ORS is nothing but database. At the tool level, we are going to call it as database. But at the backend level is nothing but schema.
Okay.
Oracle level, it is schema. It is not database. At the MDM tool level, we call it as database. ORS is the schema. It contains all the tables. What we are, that is the user-defined tables. Apart from that, the golden records. Okay? That is the ORS. We can have only one database, master database. We can have n number of ORS. It depends upon the project. It depends upon the project.
ORS is a master database. What is it? ORS is?
ORS is the schema what we are going to create.
Yeah.
Based on the data model, we are going to create this schema. Within that schema, we will be having the user-defined tables.
Okay.
How we are going to create the user-defined tables? By using the Hub Console.
Okay.
That once I show the Hub Console, you can easily understand. Here, what is the issue? Here, what is the unique thing is, in MDM, whenever we create tables, along with that, so many supporting tables will be created. So remember, if somebody asks you to create tables, means you should not go to the back and create the tables. You should use the Hub Console only. If you forget to use the Hub Console, you cannot get anything. It will jeopardize the entire implementation. You should not use the create table command here. You should use the Hub Console. For landing tables, there is no supporting tables. For staging, for base objects, supporting tables will be created by the tool itself, and it will be created at the backend. So when we create using the create table, supporting tables won't be created. So we cannot use the tables. So this is the brief explanation about the Informatica MDM architecture. I think is more than enough. We have seen about top tier, that is UA layer, and application server layer, and the database server layer. Database is we can use only Oracle or DB2. From this version onwards, SQL server introduced. Before that, there is no SQL server. And UA layer is nothing but it allows the user to configure the environment and perform the database management activities. What we can say is Hub Console like SQL tool. We are having the tool, no? That in Oracle we are connecting to the backend and we will be issuing the queries and we will be seeing the result. Like that we can say. But Hub Console, it is not like that. In Oracle, for each and everything, there will be several tools. And for Informatica Power Center, we are having 4 tools. Repository Manager, Power Center Designer, Power Center Workflow Manager, and Power Center Workflow Monitor. Here it is not like that. We are going to do all the things in the single tool. That is why it requires more memory. If you are having laptop, if you want to install MDM, means minimum 12 GB it's required. It will take minimum 12 GB, and the RAM will be required. Otherwise, if you are having 8 GB, means it will be somewhat slow. 4 GB, you cannot do anything. 4 or 6 GB, you cannot work in the MDM. So it is a single tool which consists of several sub-tools. We are going to see the introduction. We are going to see one by one in depth in the coming sessions. Okay, this is the brief explanation about the architecture we have seen. And And this is nothing but the detailed explanation of the architecture. Okay, it's about the explanation of the architecture. And already I told that MDM, that master database means what? Contains, yeah, master database means it contains configuration settings. It contains the system related information.
Yeah.
And the operation reference store means contains master data and metadata. There is no need to use this master data. We can say it is a golden data. It contains golden records and content metadata. This is the detailed explanation of the database server tier. And system schema means it contains user definitions, user tool permissions, user ORS permissions, and ORS connection info. These are all self-explanatory. I will pass on this document to you. Once you go through this, you can easily understand it. This is nothing but self-explanatory. User definition means what you can yourself know. ORS connection info, then ORS permission. ORS nothing but operation reference store. Here is the ORS schema, how it is getting implemented in the database. Then consolidation metadata, where it will be stored. Then master record store, how it is stored in the then the database level. This is the detailed explanation of the database server tier, and we will see about the application server tier. I have explained it. Once again, I will explain it. Application server tier means cleansing, matching, updating, and then there is a third-party tool is available for cleanse engine. We are going to use the cleanse match server that is available in our MDM tool itself. But if you want to use any third-party cleanse engine like Address Doctor or other third-party, you can use that. And then we will see about what are all the cleanse functions available, like conversion, data conversion functions. So many functions are there. I will show you where it is available. This is a detailed explanation. Already I told about what is master reference server, hierarchy server, activity server means that monitoring the activities. Okay, these are all the application server tier. This is the batch process flow. Okay. So far, if you got any doubts regarding the architecture, you can ask me.
No, you can go ahead.
1 second. Okay, I think are you able to see this?
This is the main thing. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just a second. Actually, we are getting data from the source system. The external source, already told you several times, we are going to get the data from the external environment. That is the source system. We are going to get the data into the landing tables. That process is called as a land process. Land process means initially where the data lands into the landing tables. Okay.
Okay.
Just a second.
The landing table will be similar to the system, right?
Just a second. What you are saying?
Landing table will be similar to source system, right?
Yeah. No. Actually, see, the source system data model will be totally different. Based on that, we need to create our own data model. We should implement that.
Okay. In the landing. Okay.
Yeah. It is not exact as copy of the source system. I will show you.
Okay.
I will show you the data model. Then you can easily understand about the party data model.
Right. Just go to the higher one. That will be easy because then we can go to the details. Let's go to the higher one. Yeah.
Are you able to hear?
Yeah, I'm able to hear now.
Okay. So, from the source system, data comes into the MDM hub server, and landing table is the place where the data lands. That is the first.
Okay.
That is the first entry point of the. That is the first entry point. Just like that, we are entering into the some place. No, that is the entry point. and
Mm-hmm.
that is the intermediate storage of the data. We are not going to store the data there itself. We are going to pass on the data to the staging table. Okay. After the land process over, it moves to the staging. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, data from the source external to the hub, it first lands in the landing table. Then staging. What is staging? It retrieves the data from landing table, and here itself we are going to have mapping. Here it's actually this is the stage process starts. Don't confuse that landing to staging. This is stage means stage process starts. Then
Mm-hmm.
then it moves to the staging table. From landing table to staging table, we are going to do the cleanse process. That is cleansing. Cleansing is nothing but standardization and enrichment of the data. Okay. Retrieves the data from the landing table, cleanses, and copies into the staging table. Okay.
Okay.
So you should understand what is it. Here there is something called a raw table and reject table. Once I show the hub console only, you can understand. And it's nothing but raw table means it's a copy of the source system. If you're having a very big server environment, those are able to invest a huge amount. They will keep one copy. That means raw table means nothing but a copy of the source system. And then reject means what are all the data rejected at the staging level. Normally what it will be rejected. If the data is junk, it will be rejected. If data is not unique, it will be rejected. Or we can say if it is null, it will be rejected. All will go to the reject table. Okay. That is not. I will show where it is rejectable. But raw table here in learning environment we won't be using it. So there is no need to worry about this raw table. Reject table I will show it at staging level. When it is rejected means where it will be going. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Between staging and then the staging table, this is the stage process starts. Then cleansing. Cleansing means here we will be using the map. I will show how to create mappings, etc. And then data will be moved to the staging table. From staging to loading. Here it is called load means load process starts. That means loading means loading the data from staging to base object. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Again, I will explain all these things. What is detailed explanation I will give about how the user defined tables get created. Then a lot of things are there. Initially, I will overview I am telling at this point. Okay. And then load process starts. That means loading the data from staging to base object. Actually, we need to create mappings in between the landing and staging. That you should know. What is the purpose of this mapping? Nothing but it helps us to transfer and clean the data. Okay, the cleansing of the data.
Okay.
Then after that, what is coming? And loading a lot of things are that cross-reference table, system control, reject table. Here also we will see what is cross-reference table. See, whenever the data is loaded to the base object, one copy of the base object is loaded in the cross-reference table. Okay.
Okay.
Once again, I will explain. Then you can easily understand. And at the property level, if you enable the history, then history table will be created. And what are the things we are doing that is in the history table, we can see that. And reject table is similar to the staging level. The same reject table only we are going to use it. Okay. How the reject table will be look alike. Once we create the data model only we can see that. But sample reject table I will show once the hub console is up and working. Okay. After that, this is the base object loading process. This is load process starts. This is the original loading. We are going to load the data into the base object. After loading the data, what process we are going to do? We are going to tokenize it. Tokenize it. What tokenization? Tokenization means already I told. Sorry, just I am getting echo.
Is this okay?
I'm getting echo. Okay. After this loading of the base object, the tokenization process starts. What is tokenization? Already we have seen one example with a small example. One name I have shown you, that John Smith. In that John Smith, we are able to see that John Smith is the best version because it is only one record. But if you are having some millions of records, we cannot compare it manually. So we need to depend on the MDM tool. At the MDM tool level, what it does means it is having one internal algorithm. It is having internal programming setup. The algorithm we cannot see. The algorithm, it's a secret formula they are using to generate the match tokens. What are the match tokens? That means it's a token number they are generating for the millions of records. The token numbers will be used to compare each other, then match pairs will be generated. Okay, that is the tokenization process. Tokenization process is nothing but generation of the token numbers, and it will be stored in one supporting table. And then that is the match key table. We will see that match key table. From tokenization, we will move to the match process. What is match process? Is nothing but comparison of the records. That means we are going to determine whether the records are duplicates and flags duplicates for consolidation. This is the match process, and the match pairs will be stored in the match table, and token numbers will be stored in the match key table. Match pairs will be stored in the match table, and then finally merging will be done and consolidation will be done, and finally we will be storing the golden records in the base object itself. This is the overall batch process flow as far as the MDM, Informatica MDM is concerned. Okay, you can ask any doubt, you can unmute and you can ask doubt.
Okay, so we get data from the source, put into landing table, but the landing table won't be the exact as source, but it is some part of the source data, but it is not clean the landing. Then we move it to staging, which is there we do the cleaning process. Cleaning means like, if it is null, we do some basic data profiling, right? And once it is gone to the staging table, from there we compare with the cross-reference table, all the history table, all these things. From there we
once again you tell staging to
staging to from staging to base object, but from in between the base object we have to use a cross-reference table, reject table, and everything.
No, it's not like that. Actually, while loading the base object, this is exactly you should understand. Load process starting means leave this cross-reference, leave this system control, leave this table. Simultaneously it will happen. Whenever we load the base object, one copy of it will be loaded into the cross-reference table. If we enable the history, while creating, if we enable the history, then details about that history will be loaded in the history tables. If there is any issues, like we have already handled about null, like that sometimes if we may face some issues here also. At the time that the rejected records will go into the reject table. While loading the data in the base object only, we will be loading cross-reference and we will be loading the history tables. If there is any rejection, it will come to the reject table.
Okay. So from loading it, we are putting it to a base object, leave this cross-reference and everything. And once the data is in the base object, we use all the tokenized mix, match and everything, and reconsolidate the base object, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Actually, initially we are loading into the base object only, and finally the results also stored in the base object only. Here you should ask one question: how we are able to identify the golden record? What is is there any indicator available? You should ask. See, actually, I will show the table. There is one indicator called consolidation indicator. The consolidation indicator, it contains 4 numbers actually. I will explain you in detail. If the number is 4 means, then it is the newly loaded record. If the number is 1 means, then it is the golden record. That on the basis of the consolidation indicator only, we can identify whether it is a golden record or new record. Okay. Because we are storing both the records in the same table, no? Then how can we know that whether it is a golden record or whether it is a new record? Based on the indicator only, we can know that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Just a second.
That's
again, just a second.
Yeah.
Landing table. What again? I will summarize. Landing tables means receiving the data from the external source. That is data loaded to the landing table through ETL process. Again, that the ETL team will be taking care of this landing table. We need to hand over the landing table to the ETL team, and the ETL team will be loading the data into the landing table. Staging tables means we are going to create the mappings between the landing, that process. Here it is a process between the land process. Once the stage process starts, that means in between the landing table and staging table, we are going to create it. That we call it as process. In between the process, we are going to create the maps, and the map help us to enrich and standardize the data. Then base object means we are going to use the base object to store the data for the business entities. That is the main thing. These are all the user-defined tables. Base object, landing table, staging table. We are going to create manually in the hub console. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is the overall batch flow, and
my thing is, so what you do is, like, say there are I understand the whole picture here. Okay. My thing is, just you can go directly. You can show the source table.
Hello, I am not able to.
From there we can go one by one directly, and I can see the tool, and from there we can go back and see all this, like in all the things here. And if we can pick up, hey, this is the place you have to go, click the data, put the data, and like only 1 or 2 formatting. We don't need to do that much cleansing. Just
where
you can convert the null into, say, NULL.
I can't hear you properly.
Oh, sorry. Okay, are you able to hear me now? Are you able to hear me now?
No, I'm not able to. Your voice is somewhat. I'm disturbed, getting disturbed like that.
Okay, give me a second. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Actually, the cell phone was nearby. I think that's the reason it's creating the problem. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the thing. So once, like, what we can do is we'll have a source that has like 2 sources. One with 5 records, another source with another 5 records. Okay, and bring those source into the landing.
No. Actually, that is why I told you. This is just an overview. We are going to take one telecom domain where we are going to have 3 sources. One is prepaid, other one is postpaid, other one is FiberNet. In that only we can easily understand. This is somewhat overview I have given. Once you come, once again, I will explain all those things in a clear-cut manner so that you can easily understand. Here it is at the higher level. I have told at the higher level. That is the top level. We will go one by one in depth level. What will happen when the multiple sources coming? That I will show the diagram. I will show the data model. Then you can easily understand how the data is coming inside. What are all the maps we are going to create at the tool level. Everything we will see in depth in the coming session. This is the overall overview I have given, and we will see all those things in the coming sessions. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going to take one telecom domain. In that, the prepaid means we have entered data in different formats in prepaid and postpaid and fiber, and what will happen, and then we will see one by one. If I explain the data model only, you can understand. This is overview I have given, and for your that information, here I have shared that screen how the hub console look like. Normally, if you log into that hub console, it looks like this only. I think you are able to see that screen here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Once you log into that hub console, this configuration model is the place where we are going to the development activities. It is like Power Center designer, you can say. We are going to spend around 70 to 80% of the time in the model, this workbench only. Apart from that, security access management, data steward. I will explain about what is data steward. Data steward is the unique position in the MDM project. Actually, those who are having around 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience, also got in the working in the same company, they will be having in-depth knowledge about the data. What are all the data they are having in the company, they will be having the knowledge. So that type of persons will be used for this data steward. He will be handling the critical information. For example, MDM tool, there is no need of the manual intervention, but manual intervention is required. Why means sometimes, for example, I will tell one thing. If you go to some Airtel customer care, normally what we will do? We will go to the customer. Nowadays, we are in India. In India, we are using the Aadhaar card. For each and everything, we are using the Aadhaar card. But before 3 years, 4 years, what happened? Normally, we will go to one Airtel customer care. There we will be asking, here I have came here to get the SIM card. Then they will give one application form. At the time, sometimes we might have traveled a long distance. We will ask the sales representative to fill up the form. Sometimes out of tension, what he might have done is, instead of writing his name in the sales representative place, he might have written your name. And at the sales representative name, he might record the customer name. So the names will change. These type of mistakes will come from the source to the landing to staging, like that. It will move on up to the last level. We should avoid this type of thing because we will be losing some valuable customers. So data steward, by seeing the data itself, this name so far we have not come across, so might be something fishy like that. And he might be knowing who is sales representative. Some name is coming, means, this name is sales representative name only, how it has got changed. Then he know what to do. So that type of some critical customers, some critical data handling, that data steward will be handling. He will having the change management control. So he will be passing the data to the senior manager for approval. Lot of that change management process will come, and finally the data will be approved and it will be stored in the base objects. So the data steward is the unique position in the MDM projects, and he will be responsible for the manual intervention whenever the critical data comes. So we cannot pass all the data that the MDM tool will take care, and sometimes if mistakes comes, we will lose the business. So at that time, the data steward roles and responsibility. Okay, like that, the data steward utilities is nothing but in Informatica we are having the workflow monitor. Likewise, here in utilities we are going to have batch viewer, then batch jobs, like that. Whenever we create anything, the scripts will be automatically created. There is no need to worry about creating the scripts. That scripts will be automatically created. Our job is just to run the scripts, that's all. Under the utilities only the scripts will be available. We are going to run the scripts and we are going to monitor it in the batch viewer. And if the jobs get successfully completed, then we will go to the back end and verify the results. Okay, this is the somewhat at the bottom level, that what schema we are using, what user, and overall. I will show that tomorrow. Then you can easily understand how it's look like. So you can see that this is the overall thing. And further we will see that the process in MDM in the coming sessions. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just you can stop the recording.
Okay.